California 92108.
Now we're going to go to Ray Gosselin, who's with PBSA President Keith Mullen, to talk about the rules of Over the Line.
Well, most people have heard of Over the Line in one capacity or the other. You may recall playing a sandlot version of it in your youth. The beach version originated in Mission Beach, no more than a mile from where I'm standing, over 35 years ago. Though the rules have been modified a bit, the game has become highly competitive. But the fun and camaraderie still remain. Next to me is a man having a great time here today, Pro Beach Softball President Keith Mullen. Keith, why don't you give us a general overall look of Over the Line?
Well, OTL is a relatively easy game to play. It's basically a three-man beach softball. It's played by men, women of all ages, and juniors. The object of the game is to hit a softball pitched by your own team over the line that's 55 feet away and onto a court that's about 54 feet wide. The trick is to do that without the defense catching the ball.
Well, Keith, since there are no runners in Over the Line, how are runs scored?
Well, scoring's pretty simple. There's only outs, singles, and home runs. 3 hits is a run, and every hit after that is a run. So 5 hits would be 3 runs, or 6 hits would be 4 runs. And then there's a home run, which goes past the last man, which clears the bases, and everybody scores.
Well, Keith, how about outs? How are those made?
Well, any ball hitting in the triangle is an out. Also, any ball that's caught by the defense on the fly is an out. You get 2 foul balls or a swing and a miss are outs. Today in the men's pro, they're playing the Thiele rule, which is where any ball short of the front line, either fair or foul, is also an out.
Keith, how long till the games last?
Well, regulation games are 5 innings, except when there's a skunk. And the skunk rule is when any team is up by 11 runs after a complete inning. Out here today in the men's pro, you'll see some teams get real hot with the bats. So a lot of those guys like to hit first, and so they get after that big lead.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Here we are in the bottom of the third. That's Rob Stillman, who just made that great catch in the last inning. This is his second pitch. He has to put this back in play. And it's caught. Diving grab by Paul Contreras. Nice catch.
A great catch by Paul. I mean, that second pitch is usually going to go up the middle. Paul floating around in that middle, but still, it was a great hit. And he had to go down, as you saw, picked it up about 18 inches off the sand.
Here's Trevor Shine. Lined and almost caught. It just went off the hands of Paul Contreras. I thought for a chance there Mike Selwood had a chance to grab it, and Paul may have hurt himself going after that ball. And now we have everyone that coming out of the woodwork to take a look at his finger. There you've got a good look at it as he's holding his hand. Obviously he's in a lot of pain. Tom, not to demean Paul's injury, but if indeed he cannot continue, what's the status then?
Well, they could add a player who's not played in the event. I might have to come out of the tower.
I am John Ireland. This is Tom Nettles, and we are in the middle of the third inning. 1 on and 1 out. Paul Contreras has taped up that injured hand, and he's ready to play. Here's Dave Mayer at the plate. And let's see if they can come back from this deficit. Right now, Dave's team, Team Premier, is trailing 17-9. That's lined, and they were going to test that hand right away. You know, line drive right at Contreras, and that's good for a hit.
Well, it is. So that's, as we picked up the play, there was 1 on, 1 out. So now there is a bases loaded and still 1 out. A team trailing by 8 runs at 17-9. It turned out to be a dislocation of Paul's pinky finger on his left hand. And he got it reduced and straightened out by Carl Taylor. He's back in business, but tell me, in considerable pain.
Here's Rob Stillman at the plate. That's lined, and that's fair, just over the line.
It's funny, too, about pauses in play and over the line. Again, it's all a momentum game, and sometimes you come back after that rest, or respite, I should say, and your team just lights up. And this could be a chance for Team Premier to get right back in the game.
Here's Trevor Shine. Trevor lines one, and fair. Hit it where Paul Contreras was. Contreras was there, and he moved, and Trevor hit it where he used to be. Something that happens frequently in over the line.
Well, again, we've said this. It's a game of guessing when you're on defense. It's a game of you try to pick the tendencies up of the offensive player. And Trevor's been going to that hard pull, and that was where Paul was off and running to. And Trevor crossed him up, coming right back to the middle. Good hit.
Here's Dave Mayer at the plate. That's line, and that's fair. Dave told me yesterday when I had a chance to talk to him, Tommy, he is admittedly the quietest member of his team. He says that Trevor and Rob talk much more than he does, but he says just being around those guys has turned him into a talker. He finds himself saying things that he normally never says.
Well, let's put him on a scale of 3 with Rob being on 9 and Trevor being on 11.
Let's see what Rob can do here. That's hooked foul. A pull, as they are called in this business. It's 17-12 right now, and there's still only one out.
Defensive change by Easton Skin Patrol. Mike Selwood has now come up the front, and Paul has gone to the middle.
That'll take a little of the slack off of Paul's hand, which he injured a minute ago. The line drives are usually at least grabbed first by Mike Selwood, as we illustrate the point.
Terrific catch by Mike Selwood. Terrific. I mean, that's as good as it.
Here's Trevor